Hi you guys. So we're in the greenhouse, or the high tunnel. It's a high tunnel, not a greenhouse. There's a difference because I don't heat it. Sun heats it. That's a major difference. I've got these green beans that I planted long enough ago. 5/9 is when I planted them. Today is 5/20, so it's been 11 days. And even though it can take up to 2 weeks for them to start turning green and pushing up, you know, like a little start, none of them are. And I have 16, 16, 16, right? So I've got lots of them. None of them are coming up. So I decided to start digging up my cells to find out what went wrong with my green beans. They're a good size green bean. So I take the dirt out and I go through it right here. Well, let me show you the size of the bean. So this is the size of the bean I planted. It comes from a very reputable company, so I know the beans are good. And I've got great starting seed mix here. So I keep digging it up and I'm not finding any beans. In here, you'll see a lot of perlite. This particular potting soil has a lot of perlite in it, and you can see it's perlite, not vermiculite, because it's white, not brown. And the shape of it, but that's a different video. All right, so I've dug up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells, and I'm not finding anything. But I did finally find one thing, and I'm going to show it to you. Actually, I lied. I just found a second. I keep thinking these are green beans, but they're perlite. Keep breaking them in half. All right, so this is what I found. I found 2 green beans. Here's the problem. They're rotting. First I thought a mouse had come in here and pulled them out, but no, I'm finding them and they're just rotting. There's one. There's the second one. The other ones must be so rotted that I'm just not finding them in here, but let's pull out another cell and go through it together and let those guys finish dumping that gravel, and then we'll look at a cell here real quick together. All right, so I'll take one from this one. Take a cell. If you have cells like this, getting a scraper and filing it down to size, #1 tool for this kind of stuff. Yeah, so let's take that out. Vermiculite, or perlite. No. I mean, it should be nice and sticky, and that's why originally I thought a mouse or something had come in here and stolen all my beans. But if that had really happened, there'd be holes up in here, little holes like that. Little hole, and that would be put aside, and there'd be another little hole. I've seen that happen before. That's not what's happening here. Let's see, here's a bean that's rotted that I just dropped on the ground. All right, so now we know nobody stole the beans, and they're rotting. So why are they rotting? Well, I did something this year that I have never done before. There's another one. Rotting green bean. And that is, I soaked them. This company, well, you know what the company is. Excellent seeds. They make excellent seeds. I buy from Baker. I buy from Territorial. I always like to support heritage and heirloom growers. But they do recommend direct seed after last frost, soaking seeds overnight. And I did. I soaked them overnight, and I've never done that before. Usually I just plant the bean or the pea or whatever. I don't soak them, but this year I started soaking them. And then I did a second thing, and that is I kept them in trays, because it went from being super hot to super cold to super hot. So what happens is when I water and it's in a tray, of course you overwater, right? And then the water stays in the tray. and then it's there for longer, and the water will continue to soak up into the cells, and it's not drying out enough in between. Now, a lot of things don't care about that. These are black beans. They're not in a tray, but they're extremely wet. You can see, but these are black beans. They're coming up like crazy, and I mean, nothing else seems to care. These are all cucumbers, lemon cucumbers, regular cucumbers, all my stuff, but they're not beans. So the only beans that I had were these black beans, and I did soak these. Because I thought, well, maybe it's the year of the green bean soak, or the bean soak. So I did, and that's not working for these guys. So I'm overwatering. I'm leaving them in standing water, and I soaked them, even though soaking is, in the instructions. So what am I going to do is I'm going to replant these, and I'm going to plant them up in bigger container, bigger starter, so you can see how much bigger these are. So I'm going to plant them up in these guys, and I'm not going to leave them on trays. I'm going to just put them directly onto these things, and I'm going to water them a bunch less. If I didn't have the great large garden fiasco of this year and I could actually get into my big garden, I would direct sow these into the ground, which is my preferred method anyway. But I can't get into my garden, and I want to get these started. So we're going to go from the small guys to the big guys, put them directly on the racks, and I am not going to pre-soak these. So those are the lessons learned. This is how we did what we call a post-mortem. In the IT world, it's called a post-mortem. What went wrong? Why did it go wrong? How can we fix it? So that's what happened. So I'm not bashing the seed company. It's entirely my fault. But these are the steps you go through to figure out what the heck happened. So what did we do? Just a real quick recap. We looked at the seed cells. We looked to see if there were any holes, were any critters getting in the top. No. So we took them out and we spread out the dirt to see if we could find any leftover seeds, and we did. And what we discovered was they were rotted. So why do things rot? Because of water. So how was water getting in there? I was watering. Why was I watering so much? Because I kept them in these racks, and they were just sitting in water, and they were being overwatered. So that's the way the cookie crumbles, or the seed rots, I suppose, in this moment. I'm going to go through here real quick, pot them all back up, and we'll start them all over again. So I'll show you what that looks like when it's done. All right, so now we've got these all planted up. I planted less because I want to have some in reserve in case these go the way of the mold. And then I could plant those directly in the ground. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 24 of them, which is more than enough for me and my family. So today is 5/20. I updated the strip. Got them in a bigger cell and on an area where they can just freely drain, and I will try not to water so much, and we'll keep an eye on them. So far so good. We'll keep you updated. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions on a post-mortem for your whatever it is that's not growing, and there you have it. Thanks for watching.